help your property be more attractive to a buyer.
Right.
A seller might be resistant and say, well, it takes a year to get this done. I'm not even gonna live here anymore. Why am I gonna do this if I'm not gonna benefit? And I don't wanna get stuck paying a bill for something that I'm not even gonna benefit from. So because the grievance process is lengthy, whenever someone is selling their home and grieving their taxes, I always provide a letter with like an estimated reduction so that it can help the homeowner and the agent. It'll help you, Jim. You'll show your buyers, hey, these taxes are being grieved. This is what they're going to be reduced to.
When you give me an estimated letter, I attach it right to the MLS.
Right.
And that way other agents know, okay, you know, we didn't look at this house because the taxes are $18,000, but there's a letter attached saying that they could be reduced by $2,000 or $3,000.
Right, exactly. And my estimate's always conservative, like I said, and I'm happy now this year people will be pleasantly surprised that they'll get more of a reduction than they expected. But then that grievance case can be transferred to the buyer. So
Right.
it literally doesn't cost the seller anything to do it, helps make their home more attractive to a buyer, and really it helps everyone in this scenario. The buyer now has a lower tax bill, they're not overpaying. Once there's deadlines every year, once those times pass, now we're already working on the next year, and you can't go backwards. So you could call me, you could have a buyer for a property, and I could say, this property qualifies for a $7,000 reduction.
Right.
The town is not going backwards to give you that money back if it's been overtaxed.
Right.
It can only go forward. So,
Now they will go backwards to collect their money,
100%.
but they won't go backwards to give you any money.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yes. I'm glad you cleared that up. It's true.
Yeah.
If you owe them, they're gonna bill
Yeah,
you.
if you owe them, they're
Yeah.
gonna get
Yes,
their money.
exactly.
If they owe you, they're not going
Sorry, you
back
didn't file
even
in
a
time.
day. They're
Exactly.
like, too bad.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
you have to remember that too.
Yes.
I'm going to include a link and a QR code for people to just, it's a super simple process. I do it every single year. I get an email from Michelle, says, hey, it's time to register to get your taxes grieved again. Takes me less than a minute to put my information in and click yes, and then it goes off and they take care of business. And I can go back to whatever I'm supposed to be doing with my life instead of
Right.
going back and forth to the town and trying to make these windows, you know, the windows of opportunity that they give you are little to none, and then you're
probably intentionally. You know?
and then you're battling, you know, how many other people are trying to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Whereas when you hand it off to an experienced tax grievance counselor, you just sign off here. They're in charge.
That's it. We handle it from beginning to end.
Right.
A lot of people do say that. They'll do it like, Michelle, I submitted my application. Is that all I have to do? Like, what
Right.
happens now? What else? What else do you need from me? We don't need anything else. You're all set.